We're here at the 24 Hours of Daytona to film a race for Porsche. Sigma have been very kind in lending us two of their Cine lenses, a 18-35 and a 50-100. The kind of shooting we do at these races is very run and gun. We have to be very mobile and kind of ready to get the shot because anything can happen at any point. We have to interview many of the drivers and team members throughout the race in order to create the story of the race weekend. This is all done just with the camera on the shoulder, very quick, grabbing drivers whenever they're free. And these lenses have been absolutely amazing for those interviews, and the sharpness is staggering. Being able to adjust the exposure using the unclipped aperture ring as well is fantastic. When you're outside, especially somewhere like Florida where the sun will come out and go away, and when you're trackside you have to shoot at high shutter speeds in order to not have a completely blurry car, especially at night time where you need a really fast lens to still keep your exposure up. That's absolutely fantastic with these lenses, and something that we struggle with other lenses that aren't quite as fast. We need something that has zoom and has versatility, so the 50-100 we've been using predominantly is fantastic for this kind of work, where you've got a camera that is ready to do interviews whenever you need to. You tend to shoot them at 50mm, but then also you've got something that goes up to 100, so you know that's great in the pit lane for when people are putting on wheels and putting fuel in cars, and you can get very close-up shots of the wheel nuts, and I think that's where these lenses fantastic, being able to have that 50-100 or the 18-35. You have two lenses that are kind of all you need for this kind of work. We found shooting in slow motion, handheld, is actually perfectly fine on these lenses. As long as you're relatively steady with your hands, you can get very stable shots. Fantastic again for doing time lapses, which is what we do quite a lot at these races, just because it's a 24-hour race, you need to be able to show the passage of time. So an 18mm is sort of perfect because you get a huge amount of sky space if you point it up, and you can still get the circuit. We'll be in the pits, we'll be in the garage with the teams, so you end up having to shoot kind of through things. And the thing I like about these lenses is that soft focus effect you have, where something in the foreground is so out of focus but just really looks incredible. The eye is drawn to the sharp part of the image of what you're actually looking at, which could be a driver putting his helmet on or someone getting in a car. Just kind of having that almost a soft focus framing around it really helps to bring films to life and add something that is a little bit more cinematic.